There we go. Well, there you go, folks. Welcome to Thursday night on Radio FM88 Australia. My name's Jeffrey Shaw. I'm your co-host. My co-host in the UK is right at the very top of the totem pole, and our guest is in the middle. She's been squeezed and put in together, and she's going to come with an interesting story. And I don't want to really give too much away because Pauline's really wrapped us up and made it into a very interesting presentation. Now, without further ado, I hand you over to Pauline and our guest.
So, good morning from East Grinstead, the east-west line in the United Kingdom. And I'm delighted again today to say hello over to Italy to Emile Janda. So, how are you today, my dear?
Hello, Pauline. Hello, Jeff. I'm very well, thank you. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are.
And you also have a different name, as I do. Can you tell us a little bit about your name? Your galactic name?
Yes, my galactic name is Ipa'Al Akena, but I'm shortening it to Akena. And that's the name I go by when I connect with my galactic team, when I write a book, when I represent the 9 White Sisters of Atlantis.
Ooh, well, I must say, I don't know that there's going to be too many people that will even know anything about the 9 White Sisters. So tell us some more, please.
Yes, so no, not many people know because the 9 White Sisters of Atlantis, that is my galactic group, and they came to me last equinox, spring equinox, not this one, last year. And as you know, they appeared and they presented themselves. Well, I've had guide groups all my life, so I knew, of course, I have been communicating with very high vibrational beings for a long time. But they presented themselves and they came in 9 as a group of Atlantean, you would say priestesses, but actually they were regarded as half gods, which is, you know, half extraterrestrials. And I was one of them in the Atlantean time.
So they recognized you as their sister in time, on another time.
Yeah, well, rather, they knew I was, you know, I mean, the whole life of mine was a preparation for this reveal, this communication with them. So they knew, of course, it was me who was getting ready to remember, me who was getting ready to be able to also hold those high frequencies, to be able to communicate with them and bring forth the knowledge, the knowing, the teachings. So while they knew, I didn't know.
Okay. So how did that all happen? Well, that would be is that spring equinox 2025?
Yes, it was. So I was just in a 1.5 year period of great, what I call solitude. So I was chosen one. I was really retiring into my beingness and really, you know, meditated a lot on why and what and so on again. And this time I knew there is something is cooking, something is being prepared, something bigger. And I was called to write a book, which I have never really aspired to. I have written several protocols, as you know, in my work with quantum therapy, working at the DNA level with trauma healing, trauma transmutation. So I have written several protocols, but never a book. But that was the message. Well, write a book about our time in Atlantis, and we'll be talking about the techniques, the teachings, that technologies. I'm not necessarily maybe liking the word technology, but that's what it was, natural organic technology. And so I started writing a book about our time in Atlantis, and it was so beautiful. And it was this, in a way, memoir, as I was shifting from my Atlantean self and simultaneously recognize that I'm Emilie, I'm in my human body. So it was an incredible experience, incredibly intense time. And while I was writing, suddenly a white light modality, healing modality, came through. That's what we were using in the Atlantean time for preparing human body to hold higher frequency, higher consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
That was our task. That was our main task in the Atlantean time, to organize the human body so that this extraterrestrial coding can be carried on, as we are all seeded extraterrestrials, basically. So the white light came in. So I had to write that protocol and test it on myself and my clients. And then the reset, which is actually the most important one, came in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was writing a book. I had to pause, writing a book again. Then I had to pause, and the reset became a book, which is about to be published as we speak.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, the reset, upgrade your energy, the reset activations. Wow. And where did that picture come from? It's exquisite.
It's pineapple.
Is it?
Oh,
Is it a pineapple? A magnified?
It's I don't know. I found that I love that photo. It's a plant. It's might be pineapple, yeah, or seeds. I don't know.
Okay. It's pretty cool, whatever it is. I like it. So, in the writing of this book, so you've been preparing for the reset since
my birth.
equinox of 2025 for the Earth.
Well, I think the preparation was, since I was born, because of course going through, as we all do, we all go through preparation to perhaps, carry on the mission, the purpose why we are here. And sometimes there are, many more smaller missions. Sometimes there is bigger mission, so-called mission. And I see now that I have been prepared since I was born to this time, to this. This
I
is
think
what
many people, I think many people every now and again, they get to a point and there's a knowing, I was born to do this.
Yes.
And it doesn't come from any rational explanation. But now you're unraveling that which you were born to do, which is to write this book. Can you tell us what, I mean, I know it's about to be published, so can you reveal any secrets about what you've got inside your book so as to entice us into having a jolly good delve for ourselves?
Yes. So the book is, it is a, in a way, protocol to how do you do that for yourself, the reset. It's about, I've worked many years on that trauma healing, trauma transmutation with people. That's my specialty at the DNA level, quantum DNA level. And I've been asked, many times. So when I do the work on a trauma, I can see maybe before we do the work, the trauma is 45%. within your memory field. Okay, so it's quite a lot. It's very much, of course, subconscious. And then after the work, there is always some percentage that stays, could be 15,
lingering,
10. And I've been, asking before, so can we take away those 10%, 15%? And I was getting answered, well, no, because the residue of trauma, they are entangled with other residues and, part of your personality, and you hold on those residues as well because it's part of you and your victimization, and, it's kind of the way you approach life, and without them, sometimes you might feel lost. So that was the usual answer I got. No, it can't. It has to stay. And then when I met my sisters and started writing the book and so on, they said, well, actually, there is a way to neutralize those residues. It's for people who have done a lot of work. It's for people who have understood their role of, the trauma and so on. And it's for people who are 100% sure, I don't want that victimization again anymore. I take the full responsibility. I take the full sovereign path. Those people can neutralize the residue. Yeah. Because the victim attitude is it's not anymore possible in that kind of frequency work. So the book is about that. People will meet the 9 White Sisters of Atlantis, which are channeling the 9 galactic emanations. So each sister comes from a different galaxy.
Right?
So we have not. You asked, Jeff.
No, I didn't realize that they came from different galaxies.
Yeah, 9 different galaxies, and each channel, what they explained, and it's explained in the book as well, that each emanation, each aspect, they channel the energetics, is a building block for the human persona, the human filter, personality, individualization, because we come here not as the unified field. We are dualized, polarized, because we want to experience that duality. It's fun. It's also painful. So, it's about, we need that experience. This is why we are here, having that experience. Yet the goal is not suffering with it. The goal is, let's play with this duality. Let's create, let's have fun now. We don't need to suffer anymore.
So the 9 emanations, how would you identify them?
So they have each specific quality. So this is what is described in the book. They have a specific quality, specific characteristics, both as the emanations and as the Atlantean sister. So you will recognize, they are different, and it's a beautiful tapestry. And this is what they say, the 9 basic building blocks. Because they 9 by 9 plus 9 plus, so plus 3 is, of course, very powerful building block as well. So
are they there? Oh, here we are. Galactic architecture, the galactic nurturer, luminary, alchemist, sage, guardian, inspirer, sovereign. That's a 1, 2. Oh, hold on, finish off. Unifier. Ooh. Is that all of them?
9.
Did I get them all?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So, could I ask you a little bit more about because I like to go to the end, work backwards. The Galactic Unifier. What have we got to say? What can you tell us a bit more about that?
Galactic Unifier is, well, one of those, by the way, 9 white sisters of Atlantis. I've been asked on another podcast, they say that the lady said, so by saying white sisters, you don't mean Caucasian white, white Atlantean emanating the,
Oh, there's no racism here.
No, we don't know. That's really just because they emanate, of course, they are the frequency from their own galactic field, but the frequency and the colors are not necessarily recognizable for our human eyes. So, what we get when they are all together, it's white light and incredibly white light, which is doing amazing transformation.
Well, if you ever remember Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, the LP back in the 70s or 80s, there was a prism that had white light coming in and it refracted all the different colors. So I'm going to go with that. So there's absolutely nothing. It's to do with white containing all the frequencies and all the colors.
Yes.
Good one. Well, there you go. So carry on, please.
What was the question?
Galactic Unifier. So that was all about sacred relationships. So in this life here, in the past life was in the Atlanteans, would you have been deprived yourself of sex, and so you had to be this holy goddess and all that stuff? Now you come into this world, your soul split up, and now you got to look for the male half, or what's happening there?
Looking for male half.
Interesting question. Go for it.
Well, no, you've got to discover the male anatomy, I would suggest, to sort of get the balance.
Very true, but very true. Very, very, very good question. Intuitive question. Yes, of course, that might be the case. Yeah.
I mean, if you have a look at all the different Christian principles, the monks and all that stuff, they abstain from sex and that stuff, isn't it? But to try and keep their energy up.
Yes, so it's very true. So regarding the feminine and masculine, so I've been working with that, and I have led a couple of retreats on divine feminine integration, and with the divine masculine, of course, and healing the what blocks actually that integration. It's not integration, it's the sacred dance, because you don't want to integrate those two, you want them keep moving. So that's a very important part of that, of course, having alignment of the divine feminine, divine masculine within each of us. We need both energetics, very, very important. As we can't have just predominantly being one, then only feminine. Then there are missing the action part, that focused part, that the masculine is absolutely necessary if we want to, go with our dream, be on our purpose. So the harmonization of masculine and feminine are absolutely necessary, but we have to do the work within ourselves first. So it's not about, of course you go there, and if you're lucky you meet your divine partner, but before you can do that, you need to align yourself with energetically, so that you then need two aligned individuals, and then they can share their vision together and do the greater good for our planet,
humanity.
Humanity.
Okay.
The only reason I'm saying that is I've met this guy. I use his Anglo-Saxon name, Christopher. He's got the body composition of a jockey on a horse, but he was actually in the Royal Ballet, and they went across to India, and he was recognized straight away in the past life, and was asked to come back into the order, which he did 3 years 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days in the cave where they gave him meals every morning and stuff like that. But he was going straight into this trance, and he came out, and he was so open. All the chakra systems were all open and involved to the point that he was just channeling all the different masters from the Himalayas, Shambhala, and you meet him now, and he's just at he's in a different space, and you can understand someone of that magnitude walking into a room, and you're feeling all this energy that's coming in based on where a person's desires are or their aspirations. And so you know yourself that when you go into a room and all of a sudden you feel connected with someone because they're actually we use the word, they're on their wavelength, aren't they? Their frequency, their energetic aura is spreading out, and it just interacts with yours, and you feel so comfortable with it.
Yes.
Because Christopher would have that same. He found it very hard to find, a female partner. He never sort of took it on board. But his mum and dad were Buddhists in the UK, and they did all these practices, and they invoked a soul to come through, be their child, and so they took it to a whole different perspective of actually bringing forth an advanced soul into this world. There's plenty of good questions in there. Sorry about that.
Yes, beautiful.
I suppose people don't really do that at the time, do they, when they start to raise their consciousness to actually bring forth a child of stature? Would that be the right word? Or inspiration to bring to the planet? I mean, it's all about your jollies off, isn't it?
I think it should be practiced. I think that would be the ultimate way of bringing children, new souls on earth consciously, with that elevated consciousness, not just by chance or mistake or just yeah.
Wow. Whew, I think I can take a breath on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the 9 white sisters. Can you tell us about? Well, all of it is just amazing. The luminary, the alchemist, the sage, the guardian, all of these qualities. Do they have other names? They've been given, or they just called the galactic architecture?
Well, for now, that's what I've been given. I was wondering about getting, of course they have other names, and plus, they have all. So we've known each other. Me and my sisters, we've known each other since the beginning of this universe, and we've been, playing together already then in different forms. But as we all have that background, in one way or another, we all, as in what I have received, have that galactic belonging somewhere, somehow. We just don't remember normally, which is a very good thing that we don't, because maybe if we remembered, all of those simultaneously happening lifetimes or events, or how do you call it, presences, our different forms, that wouldn't be really, then it would work against the purpose why we are here. For me, it's to really experience this human body, this game. This is what they are also, we talk about very much in the book as well. This is a play. This is a chosen play. You chose a role. We chose a role to play here, and the choice is still ours. How do I want to play it? How, maybe not necessarily the events, but as all the beautiful masters and Buddhists say, We can always choose how do we react, how do we take what's happening to us. How do you wake up every morning? Do you program yourself? Do you say, today I'm happy, I feel happy, and I'm going everything to feel that, no matter what's happening to me? Car crash, somebody, does some or say something to you, which normally could make you angry. Do I really want to react that old way?
So it reminds me of the saying someone said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space, you can choose. And is this much more of that same theme from the Nine Sisters?
Yes, very, very much so, of course. Then backed up, because there is the notion that goes through the whole transmission, because the book is a living transmission. So you receive at the same time coding when you read it, and you do receive, the healing through that coding. So, but the main kind of message, which is actually has been always in my interaction with people and clients and so on, is the sovereignty. It's that just let's not be the victims. Just let's not blame other people or circumstances, because that keeps you in that misery or unhappiness or so. So that is a main theme there of one of the main messages for me, at least always. And in that, how do you react to what's happening to you? One thing is using that sovereign, that inner power and intuitive abilities. I can react differently. And then, of course, the reset, which is neutralizing the duality behind, which is very subconscious, which is sometimes, we can have the best intention to react differently, yet then our subconscious programming comes with a lot of trauma, where we, which is piled up with maybe not the best reaction, or sadness, fear, anxiety, anger. And so the reset is neutralizing that judgment, the negative energy charge of that duality. So yeah.
I can think of an example where I know that I've gone ahead and I've, if you like, communicated something with a very good, heartfelt, positive intention, and the response has been aggressive, angry, complete opposite, selfish, egotistical. Whoa! And it creates quite a firework, really. So are you saying that can be neutralized, and that's one of the purposes of the reset, to breathe it through? What would I do in those circumstances?
Yes, absolutely. That's the whole purpose of the reset. So it's because if we take you, so let's say the person reacts in that angry, inappropriate way, and that then triggers maybe anxiety within you, or fear or sadness, or whatever it triggers. So that trigger, that background, you would say, program running on, reminding you that life is not safe, people are not safe, people can attack you, people, so that has been stored in your memory field, in your quantum DNA memory field for ages, throughout the ancestral patterns. So your reaction of sadness, or surprise, and then maybe all the following emotions, that is going to be neutralized, because they and you dissolve that negative memory, which is already ancestral. So you don't have to go back to past lifetimes or to remembering grandmother and her mother and so on, what happened there. That's not at all that. It's really a memory charge. You see it like we are electromagnetic beings. So our memory has that quality of charge.
And what I've noticed when things like that have happened is that at some point, when it seems from what you're saying and my interpretation of it is that when that's neutralized within me, I do an awful lot of sneezing. Really.
Yeah, that could be. It could be the reaction, and the biggest how to say? I wanted to say it in French. You see, sometimes French words come. Retour, the biggest testimonial that comes from my clients and people who, tested the reset. They say, I got this very comfortable detachment, emotional detachment. So that one is just so beautiful, because you might then be observing that person coming back negatively back to you, and you just look at him or her with that kind of knowingness. This is just a play, and this is his issue, but it doesn't touch me in that way. It doesn't trigger emotion, negative emotion within me. And what I discovered as well was that, we treat, when I do one-to-one sessions, so we treat a specific issue, because what's important is to understand the trauma residue, understand what was different.
Okay.
And when we do so, we treat maybe, one aspect. And then I have people coming back saying, yeah, there is detachment, that this happened, and this is, positive turn of circumstances. And then they say, but there is one more thing. I don't know if it seems like it's connected. I lost fear of darkness. And we didn't treat that one. And, so I had this client who says, well, suddenly I found myself walking in the dark, which normally I would never do that, because I'm scared from little girl. And suddenly I found myself walking in the dark, and I didn't get scared. I said, oh, how interesting. And I kept walking. So, and that's unexpected, of course, but it shows how much those residue, they are entangled with other trauma.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what did you call it? Remind me again. It's trauma residue is the name you've given it. Okay, and so it's like an echo of something that was on in the past, and in the past this was a reaction, but now, in my case, sneeze, and more than that, and there is a calmness and a detachment to the whole process, that, you know what, I am me and they are they, and this is it. And I can wake up in the morning and say, today is going to be a happy day. Let's be a happy one.
Yes, exactly. And that is then the chain reaction. When you're happy, other people happy, and then we share that. So as we know the work we do on ourselves, it's the work for the whole humanity.
Yeah.
Hey, we've had a very interesting guest from Australia, and I think she started off as a nurse, but she ended up doing rebirthing. And I know that Andrina and I, when we were doing the show, we just got so captivated. We went for about an hour and a half, and she told us 27 aspects of a birth, and each one of those 27 aspects has a major impact on the child coming through.
Wow.
Well, and what it brings in, and a lot of it can be associated with just with the mother in itself, and whether or not there's a forceps delivery, or whether it's cesarean, or the fact that, when you see a butterfly coming out of the cocoon and people will try and open up the cocoon for it, but it needs to really break out of the cocoon and let the essence to go out to the wings to fold it. If you don't do it, it won't develop. It's the most profound thing. And then when she got into it and did the rebirthing with the individual, it took them to a whole new healing program.
Wow. Amazing.
So, and then yesterday, the guy from the United States, I mean, he was a military guy. And he did one of those salt baths, those floating things, float baths?
Yeah.
Floating things. Bloody hell. You're going to have to watch that show, because he went straight out of his body, and he went like Doctor Who, or one of the Stargate things where you go through hyperspace and then you turn up on somebody's planet, and he just came back with all this instant bloody recollection of who he was. But he did actually mention something that was quite profound, and that was having a float bath in that Epsom salts, and a person doing quantum hypnosis, and because they're in the salt bath, it took them back into the womb, and then they're into that. They weren't touching anything, but they're just in that whole space, and then just everything just opened up. It's really profound, just all the different modalities that are out there, and it's so interesting to hear you, Emily. It's just pretty brilliant.
Thank you. Yes, it's it is fascinating, and it's as I always, when I communicate with the sisters, is the preparation for us humans to actually really use our multidimensionality. Well, that realizing that we are so much more than this human body. That there, as like the one you interviewed, you can biolocate in a split second. You can go to one of the planets you actually enjoyed to inhabitate, and the water, the salt water is incredible. That's how to say a transmitter and carrier, of memory. I mean, the water, of course, and there is everything, all the information we find. Well, we find all the information of our history, our Akash, in every proton of our body anyway. So, it's the holographic memory, holographic system. But what the sisters say, well, just get used to that notion of you are a cosmic being. You are a galactic first. That's why, 9 different galaxies. Plus, there is one information which is really interesting, which I found throughout the process, is that each galaxy corresponds to one of our chakras. And not only that, that our galaxy, Milky Way, is currently the solar plexus of the larger universal body, of the body which is, holds our universe. And I read somewhere in the process of writing, suddenly, how it is with synchronicity. So I get in an new article saying that the Andromeda Galaxy and Milky Way, they are moving together. They are kind of, getting, and there is a prediction that they would merge. So I asked the sisters, what does this mean then for us? And they say, well, the urge for humans today is very much to operate through the heart, the heart chakra, to be in the heart, to be heartfelt, to have that love as communication channel. So yes, Milky Way, Andromeda are merging, and Andromeda is a heart chakra of our universe.
Wow.
So that's why we feel that pull to being more from the solar plexus, which is I'm here, I exist, I succeed, I express myself, who I am. That kind of part of human history is very much about I'm recognizing myself as well, who I am, what I am, and then merging with the heart, becoming that we will become really very, very, very important and worthy galactic members, cosmic members of the bigger family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just letting that sink in a little bit. Okay. So
the big question that is probably everybody's asked you is, where was the home of Atlantis?
Where was the Atlantis?
Yeah, where was Atlantis?
Yeah, it was both. What I received, it was both a realm. It still is a realm superimposed. This is what's, we need to expand our understanding of time and space and existing simultaneously with all the other epochs on planet Earth and in the larger cosmic field. So it's a realm more than place, but it was also a physical place. So if you imagine that all the epochs still exist simultaneously, and the moment you, for example, with the reset, when you neutralize the last pieces of trauma, you're not doing it only for yourself and your immediate lifetime. You're doing it for all your incarnations in the past and in the future. So this is the quantum way of living. Because time and space is really just a concept for us, so that we don't get lost in all this vastness of information. So having said that, the physical place of Atlantis has been, Atlantis was, what I understand, all over the globe.
Wow.
So there is not one. There were certain specific strategic points, but basically, you would say we had what we know today, Hyperborea, where we were more plasmic beings, and then we have Lemuria, still plasmic, but already starting, in a way, playing with that materialization. And then you have Atlantis, where we are anchoring much more in that matter field. And then, you have the periods, which is very large period. You have the beauty of that playing, the amazingness of life, and then starting forgetting. So really, when you sink in that duality, in very, deep matter, then of course you forget who you really are. So, that's where we are. We are still, in my view, in a Atlantean phase, and we are starting going back to the Lemurian way of living, understanding the consciousness, and our light body is getting greater. The more you do, the more you understand, the more you relieve yourself from the heavy trauma. Your light body, you're lighting up. The light photons of your body are shining brighter. That's what, we call light body, and activating your light body, or Merkaba, which, by the way, it's a part of the reset, which I teach also Merkaba activation, have done for many years. It's part of that. So you are becoming your light body.
So trauma is a route. Is it fair to say that trauma is a route into your light body?
Trauma is a block. It's blocking the light. It's blocking you from becoming, more, shining more.
Light.
So
Yeah, okay.
trauma, in a way, yes, it's in a way holding us back, holding us in on planet Earth. But we don't have to be held by trauma. We can be held by that greater consciousness of we can enjoy life at the same time as enjoying the knowingness that I'm a cosmic being. But right now, I choose to be on planet Earth, having fun, drinking wine, maybe not much, but here and there, that delicious food. This is it. We are playing the game of suffering.
Yes.
The human condition. We don't blame. I mean, people, of course, we've been programmed all, but it was, to me, taking that responsibility, saying at some level we knew what we were coming into, and we agreed to play that game. And now it's up to us, as they say, to wake up to that realization. I'm playing just a game. What game do I want to play?
So it's about having had a traumatic experience on here in planet Earth. After some time, that trauma's neutralized. I'm just surmising what I've understood. And once it's neutralized, you can then go to a place where you can decide, well, what game shall we play now that I've done the trauma victim or the trauma persecutor or the trauma rescuer. We've got more games to play. And what's on the menu today?
Yes, absolutely. And let's stay with that higher consciousness. Let's stay here a little bit longer on this beautiful planet Earth and do some traveling and some shining with our light body. Sure. Why would we go somewhere else now when we, work through all this?
Yeah, the whole world stage. You don't have to go Stratford-on-Avon, do you?
Stratford-on-Avon comes to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Swan Theatre. And play a Shakespeare role. Yeah, that's good, mate. So that's your journey at the moment there, Emilie, is sitting in there in Italy, just taking your time energetically, and then step out.
So my journey is to right now, the book has been, is right now being published. So I'm planning another book, and that's about rejuvenation. And I need to do some traveling for that. I need to do some grid connection, earth grid connection and healing and recovering certain information. And I want to do that. I don't have to, but I want to do that. And I want to go to Australia, travel to Australia, of course, again. Sorry?
Is that right?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, that's right, mate.
The land of crocodiles, sharks, snakes, stonefish, stingers.
Yes. And amazing waterfalls and beautiful people and, okay, the food, but that's okay. If it's fresh.
Good one.
We got past fish and chips on a Friday night, mate, I tell you.
I know, but nothing.
You're into fritters now.
Well, nothing can really beat Italian and French food. So, I know. Well,
so where does your family name come from? Janda. I've never come across that before.
That is Czech. That's Czech. That's Bohemian. I have Bohemian roots. I was born in Prague.
Wait, really?
Uh-huh.
I lived most of my life in Denmark, in Copenhagen, where my children are. They are grown up. And then France and Italy. But I'm a Bohemian spirit.
Oh, yeah, we'll
have
to look for that song.
A Bohemian word is very good to encompass all the different colours of the rainbow.
Yes. Exactly.
Track.
So I get
Seriously.
I can't play Bohemian
yeah. So I get
Take us down.
ah,
We copyright. Anyway,
Okay.
it's just a word, Jeff.
I got you.
And
Right.
I just, yeah, go ahead.
So for your upcoming retreat, what would be going on there? I mean, of course, you can't predict exactly what's going to happen in the future, but you must have some kind of framework by which you receive people and then take them through a process. Tell us a bit about that, the upcoming retreat that's going to take place.
Yes.
Because this, I'm assuming, is a sharing of what's gone on for the last since the last equinox over the year, where you've put down on paper all the things you've received from the 9 galactic emissaries.
Emanation.
So please take it away.
Thank you. Well, yes. So of course, I offer one-to-one reset sessions, which are in fact 3 sessions, because it's the energetics are so profound and intense that you can't do it in just one. I tried it. I was shaking for 2 days. I tried it on myself, not to do. So one-to-one sessions, of course, and then I am planning a retreat here in Montabone in Italy for summer solstice, so June 19 till June 23rd, where we'll be doing the reset alongside with eating delicious Italian food, wine tasting for those who are interested, of course, and here in the midst of the vineyards. And I am on the Michael ley line.
Yes, you mentioned this.
Energetics, yes. So that is the first one, and then planning another retreat, which is in the sanctuary of Marie Madeleine in south of France, where she lived the last years of her life. And that retreat is more about balancing the feminine masculine energy. So the reset is just only in Montabone so far. I'm in process planning other events, possibly in Australia in the end of the year.
Okay, so and the retreat is what, 5 days long?
So the one in Montabone, yes, 5 days.
5 days. And if I were to sign up to that, what would I be signing up to in those 5 days, aside from the lovely French and Italian cuisine?
Well, the reset.
The reset. Okay, just hit the reset button, clear out all those echoes and residues and trauma pasts, and get to the quiet place and start to rebuild.
Yes.
Is that a good summation?
Yes, the residues you consciously decide that have to go. Again, that's the part of the sovereignty and responsibility. They will not and never come in and completely hoover all your residues. So the decision has to be ours, and consciously deciding, this is what I want, this is what I no longer want. And that's the beauty of it, is it's our choice. It's where I don't want this trigger anymore. I don't want to have this anymore. That's what's going to go.
Okay.
So it's not. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So sounds like it's a profound exercise in choosing, but in a way that is not triggered by an external stimulus, but comes from within and from that quiet place.
Absolutely. Yes, it comes from within. It's your choice, but then they can act. Then the energetics can be working on you. So it's a collaboration, This is, again, just saying, nobody has the power to change your life except yourself, but you can have help. you have help, and there is so much help from them, from our galactic family, from our cosmic family. So much help. But you need to realize this is what I don't want anymore, and this is what I want. So part of the reset is, of course, in the book, we talk about it, is writing a new story.
Okay.
You must start writing a new story about who you are and yourself and what you want as well, and then integrate that story. You know, that's all in our choosing.
Yeah. So we write our own history in the making. His story.
That too, because when you write a new story for the future, you also go back and actually see that what happened to you was a gift instead of the blaming game.
So we can have a story game, or we can have a blame game.
Yeah.
We can choose.
Yeah. And what do you want to continue?
Yeah. Okay. And so in France, when you go to the place of Mary Magdalene, is that too on the ley line?
That is not on the ley line. No. But there is energetics of Mary Magdalene, very, very strong, very strong. It's, there are caves. There is a cave where she used to meet people and heal them.
Okay. All right. And for those of us who don't know, could you tell us anything about the Mary Magdalene or the Michael ley line?
Yes. So
because I know that there's a point of it runs through Marizion in just near Land's End in England.
Yes. Imagine, I've been to Land's End. And I didn't know there was a Michael ley line coming through. And I was so fascinated by that place. There you stand really there in the Land's End and the spot where you're looking at the ocean. And so the Michael ley line starts in Skellig, Michael, it's called. It's an island close to Ireland.
Oh, is it? Skellig.
Skellig.
Skellick. Skellig.
Yeah.
Skellig Island. Oh, find that one for us, Jeff. Go on, keep going. This is good.
So it starts there, then goes through Land's End, then goes through France, then goes through where I am, Montabone, through Italy, all the way to Israel.
Whoa. Wow. So it looks like it's a bit of a diagonal. It's just literally a straight line that runs all the way through.
Yes, it is. And of course, the ley line. All the ley lines.
Go on, Emily.
Yeah, all the ley lines, they basically magnify energetically where you are at. So you better be well aligned and harmonized, positive when you're on a very strong ley line. So they magnify energetics, and of course they are positive mostly. But if you're in very dark place, that will magnify that for you, so that you realize you better get out of that.
Okay. So you've now inspired me to check out Skellig Island and see where it all began. Go back and have a look and have a little snifty around there and see what's going on. All right. So when is your book going to be published? I know you said it's in the process of being published. Do we have an activation date?
So it's already published on Kindle, Amazon Kindle. And I just ordered proofread, how do you call it? Copy, so that I'll proof copy to check whether everything is all right. And then when I say it's good to
Hit
go.
the send button.
And it should be within a week. Yeah.
Wow. So we're right on the cusp of birthing your new book to the world. And this is your first book.
That's my first book. Yeah.
Wow. You've got a new baby coming along.
I certainly do. And it might actually, when coming back, it might have taken 9 months, actually. I don't have the dates right, but I'll look into that.
Okay. And remind everyone again, what's the name of your book?
The Reset.
The Reset.
Easy to remember.
It is, isn't it?
And the subtitle is The Sacred Teachings of the 9 White Sisters of Atlantis.
Yeah. And so the sacred teachings encompass all those things that we've mentioned and we've talked through.
And much more.
And much more. You know, can you give us a little much more? Just
No,
so that
no more.
much more. Okay.
There must be a surprise.
So the reveal is yet to come.
Yes.
And yes. Okay. So we'll delve into it in our own way and look at the reset. And it's a very individual experience when reading these books because they're all coded. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
So we get our own transmission.
Yes, it's a living transmission. That's what they call it.
Okay.
Living transmission in the sense of you are connecting to, encoded codes, encoded energy while reading. You know, that was common to many of the sacred books throughout the history. So, so I'm, as I explained also, for me, the download or transference or transmission was so vast and so intense that, I argued with them. I said, well, I don't have words. I don't have, even I write in English and it's not my mother tongue. You know, I speak all those languages, but none of them I speak perfectly, actually. So in my limited English vocabulary, in the sense, and my limitation as a human, just describing what I am actually sensing, the information I'm being given. So I was a little bit worried about, I'm not really giving or putting on paper what really is happening. And they said, well, don't worry about that because you are communicating to fellow humans. So they wouldn't get it either if it was in, cosmic language. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can confirm that. I mean, we had Mary Rodwell. She's the lady who was the new human. So she's a nurse, went on to become a clinical psychiatrist. And then children used to come to her and they used to look at the big poster and they used to, all these kids would tell them what it was. But what she learned was you give them a book and the kids would psychometrize the book. They wouldn't open up the book to read the book. They'll just hold the book and then they'll energetically read the energy of the author. Mm-hmm. And then they'll say, yeah, there's truth in that. Or they say, no, it's BS.
Yes.
So they knew straight away intuitively that the author was getting the download and was going straight into the manuscript or into the book. But what actually happens when my mate from England wrote a book, the first book, you could actually sense and feel his energy in the book. When he wrote his second book, he handed over to an English major, and she went across and changed all the grammatic things and put all the apostrophes and commas and changed the typeset and all that stuff. And when he gave me the opportunity to read the book, I said, got no energy in it, mate. Your energy's gone. It's in essence, it's just really an English, someone who's studied English and said, this is how you're supposed to write in English. I said, no, it's lost it. So I can understand when you say you buy the book on Kindle, you'll actually read the energy that's coming through you as you wrote it. And that's the most powerful thing you can ever get, because it'll open up the corridors of the mind, and the pictures will just open up. And the picture tells 1,000 words, and people instantly, no matter what language, will, even though English may not be their mother tongue, they'll actually accept it pretty quickly.
Yes, yes, beautiful, beautiful. Well, I hope, that's thank you. That's so comforting because, it's not, it's the vocabulary. And so it's quite, as I see, very simple, shorter sentences actually in a way. And certain things, you just kind of, there is just transmission. So you might not even certain things understand. It's not necessary to understand mentally because it's an energetic transmission.
I found it interesting that you said you're born in Czech, so obviously you speak Czech. Then you're going to Denmark and then Danish, and then you've lived in France and picked up French, and then you've got the English, and now you're in Italy, sort of picking up a bit of the Italian. The word associations. I mean, at the end of the day, you still. I've noticed that when I'm on the phone talking to people who don't speak English, and they're trying to speak English, but intuitively you actually start getting words, and that starts to create the picture. And then once the picture comes like a postcard, it's like if I said to you, here's this postcard, it's a couple sitting in a street in Paris, and you can see the name Roulou, and they're having a cup of coffee, and there's the Eiffel Tower. No matter what language, the person, Japanese, Korean, really, Singapore, they all know.
They'll visualize it.
Yes. It's really interesting, the notion of languages, because the more you speak different languages, like me and my children, we can start a sentence in one language and end it with another one, then drop in a French word or so. So it's like the first word that comes to my mind when I'm describing things is just the language. It's symbolic. It's language is symbolic transmission. So it's fascinating. And what you say, Jeff, is like when I love listening to foreigners when they try to speak, whichever language, because also you just guessing already before what they want to say. You already know. So they don't even need to finish that sentence when you're more right? Or when
you got that telepathic thing happening, then the pictures starting.
Yes.
Yeah. And I saw that you flashed up that somebody's already bought the book, and I was about to say book purchase. Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
So it seems to me that now is the time to get it at its purest form before you've gone into the proofreading, and where there's a few commas not in the right place, or exclamation marks, or whatever it is that's put it into a grammatically correct format, but not a galactically correct format. So now we're in the galactic phase.
I have to add one thing. So for Jeff, what you said, actually, that's why I did not, everybody told me you need an editor and someone who is reading it for you. And I said, no, nobody can, do that. So I decided it was a clear decision, only me. And there might be many, mistakes, but it has to be in the form. So even the printed form will be like that. It's me who is going to proofread it.
I noticed the radio, and it was a real open, expansive studio, and these commercial broadcasters would come in and they'd have a go at me and said, you need to soundproof it. I said, why do I have to soundproof it? I mean, if you want to listen to the TAB radio station, which is all the horse racing and the dogs and all that stuff, trots, you hear them all the time, opening the doors, the phone's ringing, it's live. And I said, mate, live it takes you into a whole new dichotomy of feeling, because otherwise it's so clinical. When you listen to a musician and they say you got an LP, and the LP's got warmth to it. The analog recording has got so much warmth, and digital's just a different. It's really quite clinical. It's almost like you're in a bloody dentist.
Yes. Very true. Very true. Very true.
Yeah, so you're living the dream and you're actually expressing it. So that makes it so authentic and so real and transparent.
Very true. I love that. You speaking to my part, because that's also the authentic self, the self, that coming back to your core truth. That's what we are all asked to do more, and shedding the masks which we've been, kind of forced to program to put on. Just being really the self as much as possible, because that's the most fun as well. Then we showing who we really are with all the quirks we have.
So it's not dreaming the new dream, it's living the dream.
Living the new, while you're dreaming, you can do both. You can dreaming, living, but living and dreaming. Both.
You're going into your crone stage there, darling, and then you're going to your childhood. Boom, let's go for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And making both decisions as well. Really, if you're in a space or with a person, or I don't know, situation that really is not fitting who you really are, well, taking a bold choice is very important. That's that also part of that empowerment, right?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to boldly go.
We know woman's gone before.
Yes, it's never been gone before. Or at least we thought it had never been gone before. And then we hop on back to Atlantis and Lemuria and think, there's nothing new under the sun. You're just doing it the same but different.
Can I tell you, when I tuned into Atlantis, this is might be a couple of years ago, I went traveling straight across to the Caribbean, and I dropped into the lower part of the reefs there. I could actually sense the white sands and so forth, and I knew I was coming into Bimini or whatever it's called, and I came to a stop, and underwater there I started digging and pulled out this humongous big book, massive big huge book. It would have been I'd say just under a meter in length and probably about 500 wide. I'm talking about millimeters. Yeah, I'm talking in metric. And it would have been about 150 centimeters. It was a massive book. It had all that knowledge, and then you open up the book, and each page was a picture. You just flipped through, and so it was almost like, absorbing all that knowledge. Just what was contained in the picture. Yeah. But recently, I've been asking about the Lemuria, and where was the governing principle of Lemuria. So I found it was in the Pacific at a place called Ponape. So it's up by Micronesia, up by Guam.
Well, yeah. Well, Lemuria for me, it was a little bit, same Atlantean realm, Lemurian realm will still exist, other realm. But on planet Earth, it was kind of quite big as well, and coexisted with Atlantean realm as well at some point, but more. I think I can see perhaps Hawaii, in that kind of belt down, more southern hemisphere in that sense. That's where I sense it.
I've got a good mate. He's worked with the Aborigines up in Northwest Australia, and he said,
oh my goodness, yes. Connecting, kind of like, I see it like a moon shape.
Yep.
Connecting, Australia, then Hawaii, and so Yeah,
we'll have to talk about off here. Well, there you go. Really awesome, mate.
Very good.
Awesome, mate.
Are there any questions you'd like us to ask you that you don't think have been asked?
What am I going to have for dinner?
Oh, well, do you know that?
No.
I don't know that yet, but for me, I don't know what's coming up. I haven't had breakfast yet.
No, do you go through the letters of the
Sorry, go ahead.
through the letters of the alphabet? Yeah, like come from, if you want something to dinner for tonight, are you going through the letters of the alphabet and you say, A for aubergine, or B is going to be brown onions or something, C is cabbage.
Well, okay, interesting.
So you make a culinary alphabet?
Well, I'll tell you what, if you ever go into the, what do you call it, food produce, you stand there, so the supermarket, it's got all the food and eatery, all the fresh food, fresh vegetables. You stand there and you simply ask, what does my soul need from the fruit and vegetable department? And then you just and you go through the colours, from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. You'd be quite surprised what food ranges you pick up, And you tune
into that.
And you definitely have to go for produce that's actually grown within your area, because we've got oranges here that come from the United States. I stick away from that. It has to be grown in your local area, because it's got the temperate climate, it's got the energy of your soil and your land.
And you have a lot of bananas there. I noticed when I traveled on the coast, on the East Coast. No, banana plantains. Yeah.
Banana plantation. So you want to look at potassium, are you?
Well, that's whet the appetite, hasn't it? So I can head off down to the local farm and just stand in the middle and go, what shall we have today? Thank you very much.
Well, there is a little exercise that you can do for people who say they can't meditate. Yeah. I'll just go and open this up. So you just ask people to, wherever they are, just say, I want you to step inside your kitchen, and I'm going to pick up your purse or your wallet, pick up your house keys, car keys, and then you're going to go out, shut the door. You're going to get in the car. How does that car feel? Is the seat really comfortable? Is it warm? Been sitting in the sun? And then I want you to now drive to the supermarket or your favorite store and ask for a car park. Yeah. And so then now that you're at the store, and then you go in, is the entrance to the left, the middle, or the right to go into the store? And do they have shopping trolleys or do they have a basket? And the next question is, the fruit and vegetable department is at the left, middle, and the right. Then you go and ask, what particular fruit and vegetable do I require? Okay. And then whether you need it in large numbers or just one or two. And then you can actually do it for members of your family too. Yeah. So you can actually do it for yourself, but you can do it for your members of the family. And then you go around to the next section, which is all the minerals and vitamins. And you do the same. And you ask, what mineral and vitamin do I need in vitamin A, B, C, D, E, and K? And do I need it in liquid, powder, and tablet form? Yeah. Then you go to the next area, and it's music. And you go and ask, what particular music do I require for my soul? And should it be in the key of C, D, E, F, G, A, B? Yeah. And then you say, can I then just download it, put it on a CD, burn it? Can I put it on a USB stick? Can I send it onto my phone? Yeah. Now, the next section is that you go around to the checkouts and you say, well, ask for an aisle, and ask for a checkout where there's no one there. And then you proceed to put your stuff through and the checkout operator says to you, oh, your investment in your health is this amount of money. Yeah. Boom. And then you take the stuff, put it in the car, and you go home. And so that exercise, can take half an hour, but I've just quickly wound it up for you. But the next question is you got to ask them about the car. And was it sitting outside in the sun, and was it hot? So you now moving into an area of life where they've taken themselves, where you're talking to them, and they've moved them out of their mindset back to their picture frame of where they live. And so you've moved them to where they live so they can frame it and look in there, then get into the car, and then you get into the depth of feeling of the car and the heat and what's the name. And then you ask them to manifest the car park. So you say to them, where did you actually get the car park? Did you get the car park right at the entrance to the store, or did you set back one car park? So you're actually learning about manifesting car parks. And then you go into the store, and then you're saying to the left, middle, or right. So you're actually getting them to reframe it. Oh, yeah, the store is there. So you can see them, their eyes go up there into the left-hand space. So you can see that they're going into the past to look at it. And then you go through the fruit and veggies, and you can see what the needs from the fruit and veggies. The minerals is very interesting. But when we used to do it years ago and take them into the music section, no supermarket had a music section where you could go and pick out a particular piece of music, whether it was a rock and roll, whether it was instrumental, whether it was a movie track, let alone in the different keys. And people would say, oh, yeah. I got the soundtrack for bloody Mamma Mia, you know, and it was sung in the key of F. Oh, yeah, rightio. And then you went through the checkout, and of course, the checkout operator was telling you that there's no one else in the queue. You've got it. So you manifest, you don't have to wait in a line. And then they've told you how much of an investment it is into your health. It might be, 35 euros, or £20 or whatever. And so here they are talking to you saying, I can't meditate. And here's an open-eyed meditation where they've taken them through. Yeah. And you've gone from something that they're familiar with to the point of manifesting a car park, to start manifesting the fruit and veggies and the minerals, but also selecting the piece of music, which is in the future, which no store has got, but now you can probably do it, and you're bringing that in, and then you're also manifesting a checkout with no one there, and then also telling you how much it's going to cost. I mean, it's pretty simple, basic concept. Boom, boom. Yeah.
And beautiful. Because that is also what, if you think, our higher self does in collaboration
all
with
day.
us.
Yeah, all day, every day.
Manifesting, surrendering in that sense to the higher plan decided by you, by your higher self, because your higher self is you. And we say, your soul, it's you, it's all you, emanating the final part, the physical one. But so many aspects is really, that's what we call intuition or divine guidance and so on. That's when we are in that flow and not blocking it because of some trauma or old programs, then we can just let ourselves be in that flow, in that, what we think, what we are doing with our human self, the same is happening.
Well, true, because you can actually expand on that meditation by taking the person into the next aisle. And what you do is you go through the undergarments. So, whether it's jocks or bras for girls or something. And then you go to the next aisle, which has got the outer clothing. And so the inner clothing just is an expression of what you want to hold dear to yourself. And the outer clothing is what you wish to express to the world. Mm-hmm. So that's a really opens up people's concepts of where they stand and where they're at, whether they're extrovert or introvert.
Beautiful. Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's not about me. I'm sorry about that. I've taken over your show. It's Emily's show. Sorry about that.
Oh, took my spot. Starring.
That was a
No,
that was a beautiful contribution because
I share it gladly with you.
No, the show's not about me. The show's all about you. Sorry about that. I've hijacked it. Anyway.
Okay.
So any other, as Pauline was going to say, is there a question that we should have asked you that we haven't asked you? Yeah. No?
Well, there are many, but I'm not the one to. I have all the answers. No, I don't. The sisters. So
you have all the answers for anyone who asks the right questions. I love it.
And then it's up to them to see if the answer was right or not. As I always, of course.
Was it to the right or to the left or in the middle?
Yeah, just take what resonates. I can answer you, but if it's the right answer.
Fantastic. I have to say it's been really, really fun talking to you and exploring the ley lines, the reset, the galactic galaxies, the different galaxies. Listening to everything today is very, very nice indeed. And I wish you well with the retreat. And we know full well you've had one sale on the book.
That's
as we've been
amazing.
speaking.
Yes, thank you so much.
Many more sales, and the transmission of your messages from the galactic emissaries throughout the world. Fantastic. Thank you very, very much for being with us. It's been great. Great too also, Jeff, that you hold the space and allow people to have their statements in the world and to make their transmissions. Brilliant. Thank you very much too. Simulcasting away.
Thank you so much to both of you. It has been fun. I love fun, so you. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Okay. My homework is to find that island in Ireland, Skellig. I'm going to look for Skellig Island and see what's going on there. Thank you. Bye now.
Stay online. We stay in the green room while we finish off.
Okay.